Hey there, People Stack Tribe. Welcome to another week. And the topic of the week, the topic of this week's episodes is going to be dealing with other people's fear and uncertainty and doubt. I've talked a lot about dealing with our own negative emotions, negative thoughts, disempowering beliefs, fear, uncertainty, doubt, all of these things. And it's an important skill to learn how to coach ourselves, essentially, how to coach ourselves through our own feelings, our own disempowering feelings. And then what often happens as we start doing this and developing our own strategies for dealing with our own stuff, we start to notice it even more in others. And even before you start on this journey, you may notice it in others. And this is a perennial topic, this topic of how do I deal with other people? That's basically what we're talking about here. How do I deal with other people? And really, a lot of the time what you're asking is, how do I influence other people? And if I can't influence them to do the thing that I believe is right and I believe is best, then what do I do? How do I live when they don't do the thing that I want them to? This is a topic that comes up again and again, especially among our clients, when we talk with our clients about the things that they're currently struggling with the most and wanting to work through and wanting to, fill those holes in their own mindsets and also in their own leadership abilities and the skills that they want to gain. They want to learn how to influence, and they want to be able to do it with power, with strength, with certainty, but also with grace and with love and with flow. So they're not so tightly gripping to, I have to get this person to do this thing because this is right, and if it's not right, and oh my God, I'm just going to totally tear my hair out. And this is something that's actually coming up a lot now, too, with everybody working from home. Coronavirus is still a thing. When I asked some of my current clients around what their struggles are, yes, there's still a little bit of that. I want to deal with this on my own, right? Or so I want to deal with my own fear, doubt, uncertainty. There's always that aspect of it. But because they're further along the path, in terms of doing that, they're like, oh man, like I feel like I'm really able to manage my own negative emotions and manage my own disempowering beliefs and really stand up as a leader, at least I think. But when I see other people, like one of the things that's come up is like dealing with other people who don't know how to use work from home tech, right? So like some of them, and this might be the case for some of you as well. I know some clients are listening, but I also know some folks who aren't clients yet are listening as well. So it's why I'm talking about this. If it's coming up with them, I know that it's coming up for some of you as well, where like you may be working for a company that was not at all set up for remote work. And now you're working remotely and it's like, wow, how do we do this? And you yourself may be 100% comfortable, or at least 90 or 80% comfortable working from home, using Zoom, using Slack, not relying on physical paper copies of things, right? You're not one of those people who puts at the end of your emails, please consider printing, please consider the environment before printing this. But you have colleagues who have that at the end of their emails, and they're still talking about having physical copies and the idea of putting stuff in the cloud. Oh my God, what is this? Is it safe? What is the cloud? Can you explain this to me again? And what is Zoom? And how do I do this? And oh, you mean I need to unmute myself? Oh, I'm sorry. And oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to the bathroom. I forgot to turn off my camera. True story. Not for me. I always turn off my camera when I have to take a break. But I did see, it was a meme that was going around where unfortunately somebody was on it. There was a big Zoom meeting and a woman just, she didn't turn a camera off and she's going to the bathroom. And what was even more funny about it was because it was only about 10 or 12 people in the Zoom screen. And the person who was leading the meeting just kept going on. And like, you can see this person on the toilet, you know? And everyone else was laughing, like trying to stifle a laugh. And the person who was leading the meeting was just kept talking as if nothing was happening. Hashtag leadership, right? And that's actually what I want to talk about today, which is the reason that a lot of people come to us is because you want to learn skills, right? I want to upgrade my leadership skill set, and that's what's going to help me to upgrade my career, to land that promotion, to earn more money, to land that job. And one of the skills that people often talk about is influencing / communicating / I want to learn how to talk to the people in the C-suite, you know, those kinds of things. And that's really what we're talking about. How to deal with other people's stuff is about influencing. Because the reason that you're frustrated with other people is that you feel like you don't have what you need. You don't have the skill set. You don't have the strategies in order to influence other people to do what's better for them and for the team and for the organization. And so it can be really frustrating. So now, you know, the example is, you know, trying to influence other people on how to use technology when they didn't know how to before, or trying to influence other people on, here's going to be the best way to approach working from home. And this is what's going to be best for the team. Because it may just be chaos right now. So those are topics that are a little bit more relevant right now, but there's also things that are always going to come up, whether we're going through a global pandemic or not. Like, for example, what comes up a lot is influencing one's boss, managing your boss, and speaking truth to power. Like, for example, you may be frustrated because XYZ project is falling off the rails, or at least you feel like it is. And the reason is because you're using outdated strategies, you're using outdated tactics. The only reason that you're doing what you're doing is it's because that's the way we've always done it, and that's a terrible reason to keep doing something some way just because we've always done it that way, right? But you're having a hard time convincing your boss, influencing your boss to change the way that things are done, when ultimately it may be her decision or his decision. She's just not seeing the light. She's just not seeing the benefit of doing it the way that you're suggesting. And it's frustrating. And it's not just for you, but also for the team as well. Or there may be situations where you want to influence, like, for example, a team member. You may want to really inspire, right? Inspiration. That's another, it's kind of an offshoot of influencing, is inspiring someone else to do something. You may want to, inspire a team member to do something. It may be to lead a project, to take a lead position in a tech project, or you may want them to start writing some blog posts or doing some YouTube videos or something like that to really evangelize the excellence of the team. As you get better at evangelizing your own excellence and influencing yourself and coaching yourself, you're going to want to do that to others. And then it can be even more frustrating because it's like, hey, I did it myself. Why won't you do it too? And so it can be hard. And so what I want to share this week are a couple of shifts, a couple of high-level ways of thinking and being an influencer. So the stakes here are pretty high. I want to make sure that this is clear, because if you're not able to influence other people, if you're not able to inspire other people, if you're not able to get good at that, then you're not going to be a leader, because that's what leaders do. One of the main behaviors that leaders engage in, one of the main ways that we identify leaders, is that they influence other people. They inspire other people to make change, to make positive change. And so if you can't do that, you're not a leader. And if you can't influence, you're also not going to be able to upgrade your career either, because you're not going to be seen as a leader. You're not going to feel like you're a leader. And so therefore, you're not going to get the recognition. You're not going to get the rewards that come along with being a leader, with making change happen. Or if you want to look at this from maybe you don't identify. I've actually talked with some people who don't identify with the idea of being an amazing leader and being a transformational leader. That's not what it's about for you. For some people, you may relate more to, I want to deliver awesome results. I want to deliver wins, consistent wins, measurable wins, industry-defining wins. And I want them to be absolutely, like, there's going to be no argument about it whatsoever. We're winning. Here's the data. And that's what you want to be able to do. Whether you want to call yourself a leader or not, you're all leaders, by the way. Leadership is everywhere. It's just something some people identify with that label differently than others. But for you, it might be about the results. How are you going to deliver consistent, measurable results if you can't influence other people? Because it may not be a surprise to you to hear that people are different. People have different ideas. People have different ideas about what's the best way to do it, to do something. And not everybody is going to agree with you. And actually, in the best teams, disagreement, dissent, it's present a lot. When you take a look at the best teams, the most creative teams, the most innovative teams, they disagree with each other all the time, but they do it in a productive way. They do it in a way that creates that innovation, that creates those new ideas so that we can move through this next inflection point. So as the leader, you have to be able to manage that dissent, manage those conflicting opinions, and lead your team to victory, lead your team to delivering those results. So you're not going to be able to do that. And what effect is that going to have on your career? It means you're never going to upgrade it. You're going to stay stuck where you are right now, whether it's as an individual contributor, as a tech lead, as a mid-level manager. Wherever you are, it means you're going to stay stuck. To get to that next level, you have to be able to influence other people. So when you're able to influence other people, again, from a place of strength and certainty and clarity, and also we got to balance it with that sense of ease and flow and love and caring for other people. It can't just be barking orders at people. It can't be that. If you're just barking orders at other people because what I say goes, that's terrible. That's a terrible way to influence. And unfortunately, that's the way a lot of people do it because you never learned another way. Trust me, there's a better way. It's just that that's what's easy to do. It's easy just to bark orders and expect people to comply. So yes, we are making decisions about this is what's best for us and what's best for the team, because often that's your job as the leader, is to make that decision. You're the ultimate decision maker. But you also want to make sure that you're inclusive, that you're including other people in the process, and not just as I'm going to pretend that we're going to gather everybody's information and then I'm just going to do what I want to do. No, you seriously listen to what other people want to do and what their thoughts are, their thoughts on pros and cons, their feelings about if we go in this direction, it's going to mean this, and if we go in that direction, it's going to mean that. And you truly integrate it and come to a decision that is better than the sum of its parts, that really integrates everything that you've learned, and you deliver it, and you get buy-in for it, and you influence other people to follow in this direction because it's what's best for the team, out of a place of love and out of a place of certainty as well. And so that's what's going to happen when you really, really, really know how to influence and do it well. It's an essential skill as a leader. You can't get around it. And the other reason why a lot of people kind of have negative feelings and kind of icky, slimy feelings around influencing, because at the end of the day, you're selling. You're selling your ideas. You're selling yourself. And if there's one area where us humans have the most disempowering negative beliefs, it's around selling. Selling is nasty. Selling is evil. I don't want to sell. Why do I have to sell? It's terrible. I don't want to be that car salesman. Oh, ew, yuck, slimy. Bleh. No, I don't want to sell. Why would we do that to other people? But here's the thing. That's just one set of beliefs around selling and influence. Another set of beliefs is the opposite. Selling means loving. Selling means I am looking out for the best in someone else, and I want what's best for them. I'm not going to let that person settle. I'm not going to let our boss settle for an outdated strategy. And I am going to voice my perspective, and it will be heard because I love others, because I want what's best for others. It's not about me. It's about everyone, so that everyone wins. And so the one shift that I want to share with you about influencing that is going to begin to change the way that you approach influencing and selling is you cannot control other people. You cannot. However, you can influence them. You cannot control other people. That is not the goal. The goal is to influence. So there's a difference between controlling someone and influencing them. When you control someone, it's do this, and if they don't do it, it's terrible and it's no good and it's going to be a bad day. But when you influence them, you do it from a place of I'm going to do my best. I'm going to show up and I'm going to present the argument and I'm going to show you the evidence and I'm going to show you why I care and why I feel so strongly about doing it this particular way. I'm going to do that and I'm going to present that to the best of my ability. And that's a win. So many people think like the subtext of this, right? You can't control other people, but you can influence them. We're redefining what a win is. So many people think that the only way to win when you're influencing, the only way to win when you're selling is to get the other person to do what you want. So the only way that you can win in that case where like maybe you're trying to get your team, your boss to decide to use Zoom. He's like, oh, I don't know what Zoom is. What is this? Oh, I heard there's some, Zoom bombers. There's security risks. There's all these reasons not to use it. No. I think that we should I don't even know what the heck you'd be using if you're not using Zoom, but I don't know, Google, whatever. I don't know. But like let's say you wanted to, influence your boss to use Zoom. One way to think about it, which I'm going to encourage you is perhaps not the best way, but one way to think about it would be the only way that I could win is if my boss decides to use Zoom and that by next week we're all on Zoom meetings. That's the only way to win. And then if your boss decides not to use Zoom, then you feel bad and you mope and you call yourself not a leader. And I'm never going to be a leader because your boss didn't do the thing that you tried to influence him to do. But is that what's good for you? Like, think about the ultimate outcome here. The ultimate outcome is to voice your opinion, to get your boss to see your perspective, and to ultimately do what's best for the team so that you can communicate better. And also so that you can upgrade your own influencing skill. And so if you have this narrow definition of winning, The only way to win is if he does the thing I want him to. You're really stealing from yourself and your team, by the way, the chance to make light of this situation and really grow through it and grow past it. Because the other ways to win are I showed up. I presented my argument for using Zoom, and I did it in a compassionate way, and I brought the data, and I did my best to assuage his concerns about the security risks and the Zoom bombers. These are the settings that we can click to make sure that we reduce that. We reduce the chances of that. And here's all the other companies that are using Zoom right now, and here's why it's going to be awesome over whatever other else you're considering using. I don't know, phone calls, because we'll be on video and we can see each other. We may not be able to actually fist bump each other and shake each other's hands, but that nonverbal information is just going to be so awesome. And seeing each other's smiling faces is going to be so awesome. It's going to be great for team morale, and it's going to be great for performance as well. And you do the best that you can. Period. End of sentence. You won. You won. Because we cannot control other people, but we can influence them. So just remember that. Don't grip so tightly to the outcome of they need to do what it is I want. Who are you focusing on there? Yourself. What if you were to focus on them? What if you were to focus on your team? What if you were to look at all of the other positives that are going to come out of this conversation of how do we communicate better as a team? Just as one example. And so look, influencing is a key skill. And as you get better at it, you get better at it. As you get better at it, yes, people are going to see your side, and you are going to help them to change their mind as you get better at it. The thing is, it doesn't happen overnight. And the thing is, all of you are starting from different places. I do the best that I can to offer strategic, overarching shifts that are going to apply to the vast majority of you, but then to really get down into the details in terms of what's going to work best for you so that you can learn how to influence in a compassionate way, in a powerful way. And that's going to depend on so many things. It's going to depend on your environment. It's going to depend on where you currently are in your upgrading your influencing skills. And it's going to depend on your personality, your decision-making styles, so many different things. And I don't want to give away Band-Aids, and I don't want to give away things that are going to work for some people and that aren't for others. So look, if you're struggling right now, dealing with other people's uncertainty, dealing with other people's fear, other people's doubt, and you do not know how to cope with it, and it's costing you your ability to stand up as the leader that you know you're capable of being, and it's costing you your ability to deliver measurable wins, and it's costing you your ability to upgrade your career, then it's time for you to book a call with us, thepeoplestack.com/book. And what we're going to do on that call is we're going to make sure that we get absolutely clear on what is it costing you to not be able to influence? What is it costing you to not be able to communicate from a place of compassion and certainty and love and clarity? What is it costing you really in your career, in your life? How much money is it actually costing you? Yes, but also what's it costing you physically, emotionally, spiritually even, if that resonates with you? We're also going to get 100% clear on where you want to go. Once you upgrade your influencing toolkit and all the rest of the leadership tools that need upgrading in your toolbox as well. Once you do that and you have the strategies and the systems and support and experts in your corner to guide you, once you have experts who know the way and have proven systems for helping you upgrade your career and become the leader you know you're capable of being, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to experience? What's the dream? We'll get 100% clear on that. And if we're sure that we're the experts to be in your corner, if we're sure that we're the ones who are going to help you on this path toward building your dream career, then we'll talk about what that would look like. Only if we're 100% confident, though. If we're not, we're still going to make sure that you have resources and that you have next action so that you can keep on the path toward building that dream career, toward becoming a master influencer. We know the way. So it's time for you to talk with us. thepeoplestack.com/book. So remember, folks, you cannot control other people, but you can influence them. Know the difference, and the way that you show up as an influencer and a leader is going to change drastically for the better. All right. Take care for now. Talk to you really soon. That's a wrap.